Good morning and welcome to Trading with Larry. It's Eric and Larry together. Good morning, Eric, or actually, should I say, uh, good day since you probably stayed up all night last night. You look like you did. Uh,
I
I don't
definitely
know.
did. I definitely did. And then first it was trading. Then my wife's like, "Hey, your sister-in-law is about to have a baby. Let's
Oh,
go."
nice, nice.
So not a lot of sleep, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Nothing like talking to you to get that adrenaline going.
Let me tell you what, I'm going to give a kudo to someone that's probably watching. I'm going to say trading is back. Okay. Thank God.
I told
The
you it'll be back.
hostages have been freed from the algorithmic mania. Thank God. The Ken and Jane show no longer control what's going on here, which is also a positive. So there's some positives, and Vol is up. You know, S to on Monday, S&P 0 DTE vol was 5. It was 5. We were quoting a straddle at 20 and wings at $1. Okay. We are now at a 30 vol for the day. Okay. You can sell the straddle at probably 65 and it's not a sale. Okay. So game over in Bitcoin. I know. I don't know what you think in Bitcoin. You've been skirting Bitcoin for like 2 weeks. Okay. Where's your level, dude? I'm calling you Mr. Level. What's the level? What's the
Level,
level in
Mr.
Bitcoin?
Level. 61.
61. So you're not touching it down another 20 plus percent. Not touching it.
No, I think there's a little bit of a feedback loop with Bitcoin and the stuff that the typical incremental retail buyer of Bitcoin is in, which is all this stuff like Palantir, which is all this stuff like AI. They're not in XLV, they're not in stuff like UPS, they're not in stuff like Eli Lilly. They're in stuff like Palantir. So I think there's a negative feedback loop between Bitcoin uh, and tech, where I think tech is undergoing a repricing of
No,
growth, and
God, that
these
we're.
guys are kind of forced to sell it to finance some of their losses. That's what I
You
think
know
is
what?
happening a little bit.
This is the weirdest market for a start of a year that I've seen. Okay. So let's talk about it just for a second. Okay. The memers or the retail public or whatever you want to call these, I'm going to call them clowns, but whatever. Because you know what? Like me and you sit in our
Let's call
seat.
them normal people trying to make money
But
that have
why?
been
Why?
sucked
Why are
into gamble.
normal? Why are normal? This is part of what I've said to you. Okay. To do this job, okay, you need to have an expertise. You need to know everything. You can't blindly come in, not even know what an option is, and start trading 0 DTEs. And that's what they're doing. Okay. So they are clowns because they don't have the experience. They don't know that the price of the option that they're buying is based on the underlying product, the stock or future, and the put price. They don't have any idea. They're like, oh, 4 looks good. I'm going to buy it. They don't have any idea what the actual value is. Okay. So they are, let me ask you, would you call someone like that a clown or would you call them like a sophisticated investor? Okay. They're trading
Well, I don't,
options like, whatever, dude. They're your buddies. So, tell them they're
yeah, they're my
geniuses.
buddies. I don't want to call them clowns. Some of them are clowns, not all of them. I know. I
Eric,
feel bad. I feel
time
bad
out.
for a lot of.
I've been in the business for 42 years. I could tell you straight out trading options every single day when I entered the business, every day from 1984, September 1984, or whatever it was. Okay. You know when I picked up on how to trade options and I traded them every day as a profession. I worked as a clerk. Then I got a badge and I traded. How many days, weeks, or years do you think it took to understand, to have like the most basic clue? I'm just trying to, what do you think? A week, a month, a year? What do you think?
I think a good 3 years minimum. And that's
Okay.
if you're sitting next to someone who really is like a mentor, you
Right.
know?
So let's say it took a minimum of 2 to 3 years of doing it every single day from
Yeah.
in Chicago 8:30 until
In a high pressure
3:15.
institutional situation. Yes.
Okay. So and now you have people trading a hopefully they join the opportunistic trader and they have a mentor who could teach them and show them, option theory. We have products that basically teach people about options, etc. Okay. Hopefully they do that, but maybe they're doing it on their own. They don't know anything. They don't know anything. It took a professional 3 minimum years to understand, put call parity, all these things that are based in option pricing. And now you've got, I'm going to use the word again, clowns buying options. Don't care what it is, buying options and hoping that people come in behind them. Okay. And what I'm seeing, it's an interesting market. Okay. This is the market, dude. You have the memers or the clowns, okay, or deep retail that's day trading crazy that are destroyed. You have the general public, like my mom and people that are investing in S&Ps and other stocks that are not that hurt yet. They're hurt a little bit because they have Nvidia, which is still up a lot. They have Palantir, which is you know destroyed. They have Robinhood destroyed. They have a lot of destroyed stocks. Qualcomm destroyed. Every stock is pretty much destroyed. But if you have the S&P 500 right now, you're flat on the year. So you're not feeling the real pain that's going on. The pain is coming in retail. King head of that is Bitcoin, which you're giving me a level at 60,000. Okay. And the thing is 69,000. That means you're not in the game. That means you're literally never going to buy it. You're never going to buy it. Okay. So,
I don't know why does that. Why does it mean that? But okay, I mean, you want to
well, what do
jump
you
to
mean?
that
Why does it
conclusion?
mean that you think
I haven't
Bitcoin?
traded Bitcoin. I haven't touched Bitcoin for a trade in quite a
Thank the
while.
Lord. Thank the Lord. You and everybody else. You and everybody else. Nobody's touching
Yeah,
it
because
because
I'm not
you're
going to short it. I told you I'm never going to short Bitcoin.
okay. I know. Well, then you just missed a 50% move, which is bigger than the biggest move in the stock
That's
market
okay.
ever in 3 months because you're
All right.
stubborn.
What I was short
Because you
was
love it.
Palantir.
Wait, let's for 1 minute, let's talk about what
Bunch of
Bitcoin
hype
is.
stuff.
Dude, why are you not letting me talk about what I want to talk about right now?
I
Okay. I
am.
want to
I'm
I want to
getting
talk
back.
about, dude, stop. Okay, please. Okay. I want to talk about one of the biggest trades out there, which is Bitcoin, because you were on the show for a full year every day talking about it, and we were talking about it. Okay. And towards the end, I got ballistic. And when I get like that, this usually happens. So, what I'm asking you is the anatomy, which is the same anatomy as gold. Okay. Let's look at, I'm going to back up to gold because I know you love gold too. Okay. Let's back up to gold. Okay. Gold was where in 1980?
I have
Where
no
was
idea.
gold? 1,000?
Below a thousand.
800? Okay. So gold, let's give gold the benefit of the doubt. Gold is up 6x since 1980. Okay, that's good. You made money. It's pretty good, right? You didn't get interest on the money, but you've made 6x your money since 1980 ish. Okay, probably a little less, 6 times your money. What do you think the S and
There's
P
no
is
way.
up since?
There's no way.
What?
There's no way gold only went up 6x since
Okay,
1980.
okay, maybe it went up 15x. I don't know. Pull up the price in 1980. I
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
will. I
The
will.
thing is,
Go on. Continue your point.
the thing is 4,000, Eric. Even if it was 400, okay, it's up 10x. I'll give you 10x. Would you agree with that? We'll say gold was 3 or 400. It's up 10x, right? Why are
Let's
you
see. Hold
shaking
on.
your
I'm
head?
looking at.
Go look.
It
Let's
can't
say
be
it's
10.
200. It's up 20x. Okay, let's say it's up 20x. I'm going to give you 20x, which it's not up 20x. I think it's up 10x, 10 to 15x.
Gold started 1980 around $500 an ounce.
Exactly. So it's up 10x. It's 5,000. It's
Okay.
not even
All right.
5,000.
Maybe.
10x, dude. You love gold. You're Mr. Gold. You're like the guy in the Austin Powers movie. You're like gold member. You love
Gold
gold.
member.
Hold on, you're gold member. It's up 10x,
Gold.
okay? 10x. What do you think the S&P is up since 1980?
Yeah, 100x, 50x.
600x. 600x.
Wow,
Which one do you want to be in? And on
that's a
top
lot
of
of
it, you
X.
got dividends and interest. Okay? The bottom line is, come on. Gold is a farce, okay? It's a meme delight, okay? But gold, as far as an investment, is a farce. It doesn't. It's only up 6x. You said it was 500 in 1980. It's not even 5,000. So it's up eightfold in 56 years. 56 years, you could have made more money putting your money in the bank.
Well,
Okay.
what's the point of looking in the past
Well,
when people
because
want
because the past is
what's
always
going to help
because
them now?
Eric, because the past is always the future. It may vary from moments in time, but gold at five. Listen, gold. I bought gold this morning, okay, for a trade because it just got slaughtered, okay, and I bought a little silver just for a trade, okay. I'm going to use tight stops. Silver had a 20% move overnight from top to bottom. It traded 90 and then it traded 72 in one night in 3 hours. I mean, you're trading something that's not real. Listen, we pointed this out yesterday. You and I have traded gold on this podcast, okay, for how many years? 3? 4?
Yep,
How many years? I don't know. We've been together for what, 4 or 5 years?
since 2021.
Okay, so 5 years. Okay. How many gold 2% up or down moves did you see in gold in the last 5 years before this year? Maybe you can count them on your hand. Okay. The thing was contrived, it was slowly going up, it was not invested by the retail public. Okay. It was institutionally owned or central bank owned, whatever you say. And now this product is retail meme owned and it's moving. Dude, silver moved. I'm eating dinner. I'm eating a lobster last night. Silver's trading 90. Okay. I look at my phone, my whole phone, Eric, disappears. Literally, I can't even find where the market is. Okay. I don't know if you were trading it. I couldn't even see where it was. It was dropping $2, $3 in a second. Okay.
Oh, you know I was trading it.
Okay. But how I'm asking you, because you're a trader and an investor, how is that good? Like, how you've had a commodity that's gone up 3 4 years in a row with less than 2.5% days, up or down, up or down, less than 5. We can go back and check it and say tomorrow, but not a lot. That would be over $100 in gold. We didn't have a lot of that. Okay. Now, every day we're memeing out. Okay. Because, like you said, you are trading a micro mini and making 10 grand. Okay. You're scalping a micro mini for 10 grand, which is phenomenal. But that should not happen, is what I'm trying to
No,
say. This
no,
this
it should
market is busted. It's busted.
busted. It
Busted.
is. That's why at 5,600 that morning or 5,500, I said for the first time in a long time in ever, I said gold is uninvestable.
Yeah, but how about this?
And
How about
and
this?
then on top of that, I called for a consolidation phase before it's safe to pick it up again.
Dude,
So
let me tell you something, bro. You had it. You called it perfectly. But let me just say this. Let me just say this. You know where gold was yesterday?
about 5,000.
5150. So it
Yeah,
went from 4500 to
51. Are you
5150.
sure about that? You sure it was above? I mean,
Oh, it was
I'm looking at the
100% above 5100. 100% above 5100 yesterday. Yesterday. Dude, I
oh,
have
yesterday
positions.
during the day. Even that, I don't think so. But okay,
What do you want to bet? It was
I think it
above
was below
51. It was
300.
above
I'm looking
51
at the
yesterday.
cash.
Dude, it was above 51. I have big
Yeah, it
gold
was a.
positions. It
Okay,
was
we're close enough. Go ahead.
What I'm saying is it went from 4,500 up 600 points in 2 trading days, which is over almost 15%, right? And then it drops
Yeah,
10% in 2 days. It's going up and down like like the
yeah,
craziest thing I've ever seen. But
yeah.
what
It's
I
it's
can
still
see,
it's more investable. It's becoming a little bit more. I like the January 16th level. You and I talked about it on the podcast. That's when it looks to me where uh, retail came in with 1.5 billion of inflows into GLD on January 16th. Now we have the blow up. I'd like that level retested before we head back up, which I think we will. That's the level where I would want to kind of put some money on the table back long gold. That
yeah,
January 16th, January 17th level. That was the day where you call them, memeing out, which I like the term. They memed out on January 16th. They put in 1.5 billion into GLD, and that's the level, or close to that level, is where I think the market needs to get to after a huge down move or big up move. A trading principle is that there's going to be a period of consolidation. It's not going to go straight up, right? So that's why every time it approaches
what's not going to
5,000,
go? What's not
I
going
don't
to go?
get bullish.
What's not going to go straight up? Gold,
Gold
Eric. This thing
until it
is like
consolidates.
Eric. This thing is like crack cocaine. Okay, you can't. No level is sacred. No move is sacred. It could be down 100. Literally, you blink your eye and it's up 100. Literally blink your eye. Okay. The whole mantra of this market has become unhinged, okay, which is great for trading. You could buy it here, you know, basically be out a little money, then be forgiven and make money. It's a great trading market. I think it's a really good trading market. You got to be very careful, trade very small. Option market is phenomenal in there right now. Phenomenal. I mean, I'm doing so many SLV options, doing GLD, which isn't as liquid.
Yeah.
There's really a lot to be done out there. But I know I listen. The thing that's getting me a little sad on the podcast is I touched on Bitcoin with you for almost 6 months, every single day, maybe more. Okay. Every day I was getting more crazy, more passionate, more, I'm going to use the word angry, which when I get angry, I'm a little early,
You're a
but
trader. I never understood that. You're a trader. You say that you have 40 years of trading experience. Today you said 42.
what are you
So
talking
that's
about?
one
I
thing.
have 42 years in the market. I started
But
in
usually you say
1984.
40. Like, where did the extra 2 years come from?
I started in 1984. You can add what's
Oh,
1984 to 2026. That's 42 years, right? I have 42 years in the market. Factual. Factual.
okay.
I was a young 21-year-old buck on the floor of the Chicago Board Options Exchange, getting
When you're
fired, getting fired every day getting fired, adding positions wrong. Back then it was a little bit harder. It wasn't like now
That's
where
why
you're
you
adding.
take it out on Thomas. That's why you take it out on me and Thomas every
Take it
day.
out.
Now I
Thomas in any trading environment it wouldn't even be funny. Okay. I'm just letting you know. It would not be funny. Okay. If I had one error, I was getting fired. We're talking 10 a day minimum. But I love the kid. He's a soldier. But I would just say this. Um, you know, I've seen like a transformation in investing style, who's investing, people have this thing. Literally, I think the most interesting thing to really look at is how they've turned uh old boy society. You had to pay to get in. You know how I got in, Eric? I had to buy a seat on the exchange or lease a seat on the exchange, and it gave me the right to trade. Okay. No one else could do that. Now you got this thing. Look at my wheel. I could be on this podcast trading billions in securities, okay? On the podcast. Off my phone all day long. Now you have a video game casino. This is no different than one of these video games that downloads a casino. It's a casino. This is a full out casino. And you know it. You know it. And the people doing it are winning, not now, but for the time being, were winning because they got together in a chat room, 8,000 people, 25,000 people, all buying, five lots of options and, 400 shares of stock. And then Ken and Jane saw these orders. Like I've explained this on this podcast. I was a specialist on the floor of the exchange. I saw the orders coming. I saw them. Okay. That gave me an inherent advantage over anyone else, you know, over anyone else. So,
Yeah.
so the bottom line is I had an inherent advantage. Okay. Now Ken and Jane have that inherent advantage. They took over the specialist system and they're supposed to be between me and you. They're supposed to be market makers. They're supposed to be out there providing liquidity and showing markets to the public or to professional traders to feel confident. They don't do that. They just get orders sent to them from Schwab, E-Trade, Ameritrade, Robinhood, Interactive Brokers, even my orders to StoneX. They get sold to these guys and they basically front run all the orders. So like if you see big selling on the opening, Jane and Ken are selling too because they want to exacerbate the move and bury these retail guys that they're seeing the order flow from. So the system is completely flawed and completely changed. And in Europe, believe it or not, everyone talks bad about Europe. Trump talks bad. You know what Europe did this year? Which is what we need to do. And I don't, the SEC and the exchanges are turning a blind eye. You know what? You know what Europe did? They ended
I know you're gonna
payment. What?
go ahead. Yeah, go
They
ahead.
ended payment for order flow. And that's what we need
I
to
didn't
do.
know Europe. I didn't know Europe did the same thing. I thought it was just India and
No, it's every market in the world is doing that. Okay. Okay. They ended it because you know what? It's cheating. It's illegal. They should not see my order before it goes to everyone to see. And every order is
yeah,
compromised. So now,
100%.
so now let me just say, now they got retail on the run, right? Retail is buried. I mean, buried. I mean, if you pull up 20, 30, 40, 50 quote unquote meme stocks, they're destroyed. Destroyed. So, you know, um,
You don't even have to pull up 50. You can just use Palantir as a proxy, literally as a proxy for that indicator that you're talking about. And
yeah, but let me
you
ask you
know,
a simple question. You're a smart guy. Is
before the
Palantir?
market started, tanking, you saw it on the wall. We've been
But
talking
Eric,
about it.
here's the situation. Okay, I'm asking you because you're a smart guy. I'm just
Oh,
asking you.
the
Okay,
kiss of death.
you're very very smart. I don't know why this is not coming up on my trading thing.
That's
The all time
that's the
high in Palantir is over $200. It's like over 210. Okay, so I don't know if you can you tell me the all time high in Palantir intraday. So over $200. The stock is in half, right? Pretty much, close. It's coming to be in half. Do you know that anybody that bought that stock at 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120 didn't, even 130, didn't make a sale, didn't sell it? You know why, Eric?
Yeah, because they think generational opportunity. They're looking at Palantir
Right. But
like
Palantir, which
the secret that only they have uncovered. You know, and that's what it is. That's their favorite one, by the
I
way.
understand, Eric, but I'm intimately involved with the company. I was buying founder stock, okay, at $2 a share. Okay, and $3 a share. I'm an idiot because I sold it in the 20s. Okay, but it was the worst long. I owned that thing for a year and a half. It never went up. Never went up. Alex Karp was a maniac, crazy man, which he still is, but somehow he gets away with it. Okay. And now the stock is 135, maybe on the way to lower than that, correct? When did they sell? I'm just trying to understand. Now they're barely up money. Like if you bought the stock anytime in the last year and a couple of months, you're flat to down money. When did they sell? Never? Like Bitcoin.
Um, I think they're planning. I think retail is about to throw in the towel.
No,
I
no
think
chance. No chance.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
No
But
chance. No chance.
I think they're getting crushed,
I
and there's
understand,
no
but why would
reprieve.
they throw the towel in? They know it always comes back. They know. Like, listen, you talk about
Yeah,
throwing the towel in, Eric. You talk
but
about throwing it.
somehow I feel like they sense it's not going to be the same easy ride. I think they get that sense.
Why? Why? Why is this time different than the
Just the
last
way
nine times?
just the way that their favorite stuff is getting blown away day in
So
and day
what?
out.
So what?
Even when
Bitcoin.
hold up, even when the market has been going up, their favorite stuff is still down on the day. Even when you look up at the board, you'll see Nasdaq up, and you would see Palantir still down like every day.
Dude, this
And it's not just
Palantir timeout. This Palantir
Palantir.
trade has happened in the last week and a half to 2 weeks. So you got to stop with that. It hasn't been going down, down, down. It's been a couple of.
I don't agree. I
Okay,
think
you
that
don't have to
Palantir.
agree. I'm looking at a chart. I'm looking at a chart. It made an
Well, maybe
all
that's
time high a
got it.
month and a half ago. It made an all time high 1 month and a half ago. In November, it made an all time high. Okay, so what do you mean
Yeah,
it's
but
going down, down, down?
look back to October. Look back to October, and
October, the stock consolidated at 150 and then made a
validated.
brand new high.
It stopped going up. It stopped going up. Everything else was going up, but stuff like Palantir, stuff like Nvidia,
But you're not
and your
you're
favorite
stating what
Bitcoin.
you're Eric, you're stating what you're saying, but it's not right. In October, it consolidated in 150, and in the middle of November, it made an all-time high at 207. Okay. It then
Okay,
it then at the end of the year in December came back in to 170. Okay. This move down has happened. I'm looking at it from the beginning of the year from 175. Okay. I mean, I don't know. Is that really that big of a move yet? I don't know. And why do you think retail is going to sell this time? They have not sold Bitcoin yet. Okay. It's now 69,000 down from 130. It's almost down 50%. It's almost, if it gets to 65,000, it's in half. It's in half. Okay. When are they going to sell? I'm just trying to understand. Like, they're going to wake up one day and they're going to go, you know what? I've had enough. They are never going to sell. 2008 would have never happened unless people needed money. The only time you're going to see retail sell is if they need money. If they don't need
so I
money,
think
they
they're going to
just,
start to need money.
right. If they
I think
need money, then they have to sell. But they're not at that point, not even close, because they're still up money. They're
I'll
still
tell
up
you what.
money.
If they're not even close, then that's even a scarier thought because you know February seasonally weak.
What, dude? You're
Did you
looking at
see the
1 month. You're looking at 1 month. You're looking at 1 week. You're looking at snippets. These people have held for massive losses. In 2022, I can name 10 large tech stocks that annihilated 70% from the high, Eric, and they didn't sell. So I don't know when you say they're going to sell, why are they going to sell? Or
Here's
they're going to
another
sell.
anecdotal example. I know for a fact a lot of people were looking for Google as a potential savior last night on their earnings report.
I shorted
Right?
into earnings. I shorted
Yes, you
it into
did.
earnings.
Great call. I hope you and your people make a lot of money on that. Which it looks like you might. It's trading at 315, so great call there.
Oh,
But
time out. Do you want to know
even
why?
before,
Dude, You want to know
Go
the
ahead.
problem in the market?
You need
This
a
is the
timeout.
problem.
Go ahead. You get like you need to get 10 timeouts per podcast, no more than that. But go ahead.
I didn't call a timeout. I'm just shifting to something that popped into my head that I think is really, really important and really the critical key story right now in the market. And you know what that is? It's the thing that's going to blow the market up. Okay. And it's going to blow Sam Altman up. You ready for what it is, Eric? Do you know
Go
why
ahead.
Google's down today? Do you know why Google's down
Cap
today?
capex.
Exactly. Do you know how much
Cap.
CapEx? Do you know how much spend they are spending? They're spending a third of the value of their freaking company on CapEx. They could buy Honeywell. They could buy five public companies at the same time for what they're putting into infrastructure for something that may never materialize. People don't like that. That's
No,
not how
they
Google.
loved it. They loved it early last year. Every time you saw big capex numbers, everybody cheered. Let's buy. Right. Deal after deal. Chat GPT with Nvidia.
There
Nvidia
was a
with this
funny
one.
one. There was a funny one because they were saying Google's capex is off the chart, but Meta's not a real number, so you can't even look at Meta as a real number. He just makes up numbers, Zuckerberg, of what he's going to spend. But if they actually spend that capex, they're going to get killed, killed. So,
So I don't
so
think they are going to spend that capex. Going into these earnings reports this quarter, capex was going to be a big thing. I think a lot of people, a lot of analysts saw that coming. Like, hey, what are these capex numbers going to look like? Already in the fourth quarter earnings reports, we saw that the investing public was starting to kind of be like, whoa, let's start looking at free cash flow a little bit closer. So I actually don't think like Google came out with 175 billion penciled in capex. I don't think all the
I
capex
don't know
numbers that
time now, so
are projecting are actually going to be met this year. Like all these software companies that are getting murdered right now, Microsoft is number one on the list, right? And you have ServiceNow, AppLove, and Datadog. All these service companies, they all are providing all these AI services that they're realizing maybe nobody even wants. And how much capex are they putting in? These are looking like failed projects, right? At some point in that boardroom, they're going to be like, hey, these projects have maybe negative ROI, not even positive ROI. So what happens then? Then the
I
budgets
mean,
get
listen,
cut.
you're saying that
And
now.
the entire GDP of last year was held up by the AI build out. So if capex starts to now GDP is at a high level, right? It's not going to take a lot to get those two consecutive quarters of negative GDP growth. It doesn't mean GDP is going to go negative, but we could have a little bit of a dip,
Well, you
and
said
that little bit of
GDP
a
is
dip,
some number that's crazy,
uh,
5 or 6
that little
percent.
bit of a dip, that little bit of a dip is going to start the conversation about recession and all that, and that's where I think this thing is heading. I don't think these companies are any of them are actually going to meet their capex numbers this year.
I don't listen. It's early to tell, but it's funny as we were talking about this. Sam Altman is on the tape. Basically, OpenAI launches new enterprise platform in bid to win more business. I mean, come on. This guy is not even real. It's actually the worst thing that happened to Oracle is they ever met this guy. Okay. That's the worst thing that ever happened to them. Worst thing that happened to their stock, worst thing that happened to the company is that they met him. Literally. That guy, Larry Ellison, who's a genius, is probably sitting there and go, why did I ever even talk to this guy? Their market cap is more than in half, dude. More than in half. Okay. Their stock is in half. Dude, you could pull up stock after
Well,
stock
he
that's in half.
knows all these tech guys know how to pretend like they're geniuses. They really know how to pretend. They know how to like hold a meeting and make everyone think they're smart and that they're trying to make the
Dude, Larry
world a
Ellison
better
is very,
place. That's
very
their
smart. Very smart. Very smart. I would never
I'm
bet
not
against.
talking about Larry. I'm talking about Chad GPT boy.
Dude, everybody knows that guy is
Everybody
a
knows
criminal
that
fraud.
guy is.
Okay, you don't have to know a lot about
What
all.
are the odds?
Okay,
The odds gone up. I'm just
why not
curious
do
of
Eric? Why
him.
not do two deals? Why do they have to do 25 deals for billions of dollars and billions and almost trillions in commitments that he can't make? Why do that? Like, why is he doing that? Make three good deals. you know, be private about it. Don't come out on the tape every minute. He's not a public company. He's not a public company. He has no obligation to come out on a tape, and say what he's doing. It's just part of the criminality. He's the Sam Bankman-Fried of AI. He is the Sam Bankman-Fried of AI.
Got
That's
to
what
buy
he is.
that poly market bet then. If you
Maybe I don't
if
know
you
what the time. I don't know what the timing is. I'm. I think it's for July. I don't know. That's too soon. They're gonna let him bounce around
what
for
are
a
the
while.
odds that he's a fraud according to poly market?
I don't know. Let me tell you this. I mean, the move in silver overnight is sick. 20% down from the high in silver in one night.
Well,
So,
that's
so
good
you gotta agree right now that gold and silver are uninvestable. Okay.
for now.
Your
For now,
mantra that it's going to 7, 8, 9, 10,000, that is not happening. The retail public is heavily, dude, it's the same thing in Bitcoin. Who do you think
gold
owns
doesn't need
who do you
gold
think
doesn't need.
owns who do you think owns the most Bitcoin? Retail. Retail owns it all.
It's
Okay.
either Satoshi or Michael Saylor.
No, I mean, I think retail owns more than Michael Saylor. I mean, retail owns massive retail. The reason why.
All the Bitcoin ETFs combined, I think all the Bitcoin ETFs combined plus MSTR, I think is about 10% of the entire market cap, something
Okay.
like that.
I think it's got to be more, but okay. I mean, it's trading more than the volume of the whole sector every single day. The value of Bitcoin is what? It's under I think it's under a trillion now for sure. Okay. We're trading trillions and trillions of notional in the silver ETF. I mean, come on. I mean, these Bitcoin ETFs, they're trading zillions of dollars in notional. I mean, it's pretty unbelievable. But I only have about 7 minutes, so I want to,
Yeah, we haven't talked about any trades, so let's talk a little bit about
dude,
like
tell
what
me
you're.
about the Iron Condor. How you're feeling? Iron Condor, Straddle. I would not touch any of those things. Okay, I would
Why?
be ultra careful.
Yesterday, I put on an iron condor for today, 100 points out in both directions. So that thing is compressed a little bit. It's lost half.
No, 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 no way.
No,
No,
I sold it
Vol is up.
at 50.
Vol is
Well,
up. Eric,
I
I'm
sold.
selling. I'm selling out of the money calls that are 80 spoo points out of the money, 80, and they're bid up, bid up.
Good.
Okay,
I have 65 20. I have 6,600 puts for February 26th SPX.
nice.
I'm trying now. What I'm going to do with that position, I have a 6,600 by 6,500 debit put on SPX February 26th. Below that, at 6,450 by 6,425, I did put spreads to finance that in a 2-to-1 ratio. So I actually want them to go max loss because then I'm making on the debit put. And what my plan is, pretty much every day, I'm gonna, because you have now 100 points out in both directions. You have premium, so now every 100 point down, I could sell puts on top of that debit put, which basically I'm gonna be telling the market, "Come get me," and doing it like that. You know what I mean? Like just having that core position and just selling put spreads against it, where you actually hope that they go max loss.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I'm only short 130 of the 2460. 190. All right. Well, listen, I actually have about
You got to
five
give
minutes.
you got
Okay.
to give us a trade. What are you
Dude, if
planning
you
for
let
today?
me talk, just let me talk for 2 minutes. Okay. So I have 5 minutes. I'll give you the last 3 minutes. Just let me talk. Okay. All right. So what I see here today is high vol. Good opportunities to sell some upside call spreads because what will happen today, dude, we had on Monday a five volatility. We had a $20 straddle. You have a $65 straddle. There's good opportunity here. I like selling upside call spreads, but pretty far out of the money because if we do hold here and rally, which I don't expect, one, if we don't hold, you make money on the calls. And two, if we do hold, vol will get contracted in a big way. So that's what I see there. As far as, that's the focus now. S&P is opening on the low of the year. Not saying a lot. It's only down like a 0.25% or whatever. So, that NASDAQ's the one getting crushed. NASDAQ on Tuesday, yesterday, traded 630. It's now under 600. So you have almost a 5% correction. Um, and, that's what I see in S&P. A Europe's down, pretty good. The ECB held rates. Gold is down insane. Silver is down even. I mean, gold's only down 2.5%. Silver's down 20% from the high in one day. It went from high to low of the week in 2 hours of trading. So this is a casino royale. I think what we have to look at here, and I have a minute left to talk, and then you can finish the podcast because I know you want to talk a lot. So I'm going to let you. You have retail. Retail is destroyed in every single instrument, every single thing. The question is, the problem is, it's what I said, with you before. Like you're trading micro mini silver, okay, and you're a big trader. What is someone that's a small trader trading? They can't
I
even
think,
trade it.
I think stupidly they're trading the big contract, or like even with a small contract. Like the reason I'm going to a small contract is because even on a big account, that you get that move wrong, that's 2% of your account in like 5 minutes. So you
Oh,
got to be
dude,
careful.
dude, the difference between you, okay, and what's going on in the world, and I'm being dead honest, you're trading as a hedge fund manager. You're looking at your book like, hey, I don't want to lose 2%. One, you think these memers are going 10, 20, 30, 40% a day. You're looking like a percent. Like, it's a totally different world. These people want to strike lotto every single day. They want to
Yeah.
ding, 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 ding. They're not trading for 1%. That does nothing for them. Guys are trading with 25,000, 10,000, 7,000. There's freaking millions of these people together holding hands in Bitcoin. They're literally holding hands. Don't sell. Don't sell. It's a buy. Keep buying.
Yeah,
So,
they're publicly holding hands, but privately, they're kind of. I think they're forced to sell to finance some of their AI losses this year.
no way. No way. No way.
Publicly, yeah, publicly,
Dude,
they're holding
I would
hands.
say you're going to see that. I say you were going to see that in I would say you're seeing that in the metals because they got entered late into the metals. They went into markets they certainly don't understand that can move crazy, okay? That I see. I don't see that in Bitcoin. I don't see any liquidations anywhere. I don't. I just see them taking it down. But I'm going to give you the last minute because I actually have to run to a meeting. Again, upside calls I like. I'm going to sell them all day until proven wrong. The market is teetering. It's teetering. Vol is going to explode. If we have legs lower, vol is going to explode here, right? No.
Yeah, vol's going to explode. The VIX is trading like it wants to explode. Um, I think we get to a VIX 25 relatively soon.
Hmm.
Um, I would advise people not to try to buy this dip.
No.
Not yet. Not yet.
No.
No.
In what? In
No.
S&P?
In anything. In anything.
Dude, you're
Um,
scared. You know what? We're going to end the podcast with that. Okay. That is it. You are the biggest bull I've ever seen. And now, when the market's getting a little shaky, you're saying not to buy. Okay.
when it's getting a
I
little,
think
you
the
know when
market, I think the
and once
market
again,
is
Larry,
very forgivable. The
you've been
market is
bearish
very
for years
forgiving.
and you're missing the move. You've been bearish all your life and you're missing the move.
Okay, dude, you're right. I'm bearish all my life. You're right. Whatever you say, dude, you're right. You know what? This is, you better get some sleep for the next podcast, dude, because you're sideways. You're right. I'm
You know
always
what the
bearish.
funny thing is?
I've
They're
never
calling
made
you
money
Benny.
in the market, but you have. You have. You've made a lot of money in the market. Okay, I'm not
I
even going to
made
go
two or
here.
three
I'm not
dollars.
going here.
I
I'm
understand.
not going here. Okay, I'm not going here. Okay, I started trading making 1,000 a day, and then I was making 10 million a day. Okay, or losing. Okay, so how are you even saying that I never caught the move and whatever? Listen,
I'm talking.
the
I don't
podcast
care
is
about the
done.
move.
The podcast is done. You are now bearish. I want to go on record. You're bearish everything.
I've been bearish
Okay.
for a few days now,
Okay.
dude.
A few
Few
days.
days.
Okay. All right. Listen, everybody. Good
Timing is
luck. Upside calls. I'm out. Peace. Enjoy. Hopefully, you get some sleep tomorrow. See ya.